Good show tonight, Dave.
Yep. Give me an audio, please. Check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. ABC. Please stand by to In the Zone with RC and Dave D.
Len's here.
All right.
Bill's here. Postal Pete's here.
Postal Pete.
We got Kevin from Infinity Coins here to help answer questions.
Bill Hayes. That guy's a great fan, Bill Hayes. Bill, I'm going to have to send you something.
Bill is awesome. He never misses a show. Brett, nice to see you.
Howdy, Brett.
We got 3 minutes to go, folks.
Alan Carpenter's here. All right. Missed out on the
his
big
son
king
caught
salmon.
A huge salmon. Did you see that?
Yeah, king salmon. 3 of them.
3? I only saw 1. That's amazing. Detective
Steve's here. All right. Got 2 minutes to showtime, ladies and gentlemen. Miss My Hobby Channel 78. Good evening.
The green room is packed. Jay looks nervous. She's putting on lip gloss. She's ready. 2 minutes. Grant's putting on lipstick also, so it's going to be a good show. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
1 minute. This is that party.
Johnny, what's up, brother? Long time no hear, see.
Nice. This is when it sounds like a rave. We should have glow sticks right now. 1 minute.
What's up, Detector Network? All right, quiet on a set, everyone. We are live in 30.
That's a long 30. There we go. In the Zone, episode 4 in 3, 2, 1, open.
All right, we're back. Hey, everyone, I'm Dave D, and welcome to In the Zone. We are live from the Midwest Studios, Green Bay, Wisconsin, and
Iowa.
Ooh, who lives in Iowa? Anyway, this show is brought to you by XP Metal Detectors. XP leading the world in innovation. Looking to get your hands on a Deus or ORX? Check out Anoronic Detecting, where XP is their only business. When service and advice after the sale is just as important as the amazing deal, give them a call first, and they will make sure you get it all at anorenicdetecting.com. My co-host tonight, as always, Mr. RC Dunn. RC, how's it going, brother?
Good. You got something in the mail today, didn't you?
It's funny
I knew
you say that. Look at that, came in the mail today, guys. I had a little bit of a glare here. It's my copy from Terry Shannon, Detecting the Treasure Coast. Oh, you got yours too.
I got
very
mine.
Nice, very nice. I'll be reading this tonight. Thank you,
set
Terry.
mine up.
And if you haven't got your copy, you got to go to Amazon.com, look up the title, Detecting the Treasure Coast by Terry Shannon, and get your copy. It's a great read. Woo! All right, RC, how you been, brother?
We're going to class up this joint tonight.
Oh, yeah?
We got a great show.
On the show.
We do. We've got 2 amazing people. Tonight's all about coins. We find them metal detecting. We love finding silver in the ground. We love finding tokens. We have anything around. Round's good. So we've got Jaye Watermann from Infinity Coins and Lady Jay's Coin Club tonight. She's going to talk all about coins, answer all of our questions. And then I think I saw somewhere that Grant Hansen, a teammate, has got some really cool, got a really cool contest coming up.
Yep.
It's live right now. So with the video. So he's going to stop by and talk to us about that. So you know what? Before we get started, let's pay some bills. We'll be back right after these messages.
We all know if you want to find good treasure, you've got to do research. HistoricAerials.com is one of the premier places to do that research. They've got the world's largest collection of United States historic aerial photos. You can compare pictures from year to year and see how topography and structures have changed over the decades. It's like having your own personal time machine. Make sure you're swinging your coil in the right places. HistoricAerials.com is free to use, but they also have subscriptions with awesome tools to help you track down treasure. Check out HistoricAerials.com. It's a real find.
Glad to have Historical Aerials with us. So without further ado, let's learn about some coins. Dave, what do you say?
Absolutely.
Our first guest, Jaye Watermann, works for Infinity Coin. She recently started there, and she also has her own Facebook page, Lady Jaye's Coin Club. Got a really big following on social media, and she does great stuff, and she's a great follow. Unfortunately, she's had quite a summer, or quite a spring, but she's very entertaining. She does great jobs selling coins and telling people about coins. So let's introduce her. Here's Jaye Watermann from Infinity Coins.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Jaye. Welcome to the show. How have you been?
Thank you so much for having me. It's been awesome. I'm glad all the snow's melted here, so that's a big bonus.
So, Jaye, where are you at, right? Where are you located?
We're located in Idaho Falls, Idaho.
Oh, the potato country. All right.
Yeah, I'm looking for a potato farmer. No, I'm just kidding. So, yeah, I'm with Infinity Coins now. I moved here from Colorado. I got here late September and been here ever since. I love it. So it's pretty exciting to work for such an innovative coin company. We're top notch and we have a pawn license. So that's
Pong. Wait, did you say Pong?
We have a pawn license, coin shop with a pawn license.
Oh boy.
So that actually was able to keep us open during COVID. So because people count on us as a financial institution, we were able to help a lot of people keep their businesses open and help people with loans so they can feed their families and pay bills, mortgages. So we were pretty stoked to be able to help people out during all of this. And we stayed open and all of that. We buy, sell, and trade coins, precious metal, gold, silver, jewelry, diamonds, rocks.
Right.
We're extremely
Jay, we have a full house here, and everybody wants to know about the coins because we're metal detectors, and that's what we find. That's what we love: coins, silver, coppers. So we're gonna have a slew of questions for you.
Awesome.
I hope you're ready for them.
I'm as ready as can be.
All right.
So before we get there, let's go back a little bit because you have an interesting story. How did you get into coins? Because people metal detect for coins, but they also do a lot of gold hunting, and that's where your background is also.
Yep, exactly. So what happened is I grew up with my dad a majority of my life. He was a single dad, and we lived in Northern California. So I grew up panning for gold in Northern California, the Magalia, Redding area, all up in there, and grew up around that. And when I ended up getting into coins, my aunt came to me and told me that our family, my great-great-grandparents, owned the major gold mines in California, and they used to hydraulic mine for gold back in the day. So back in the 1800s. So gold is actually in my DNA.
Have you been out lately panning for gold?
I have not for a while.
But do you still have access to something like that?
Not in California. I do in California privately, and I am with the GPAA. So we have things going on all over the place, but not as far as my family goes. We still do own quite a bit of silver mines in Mexico, but I'm not a part of that right now, so I'm not even sure how all that works.
Just to kind of feed you in on Dave's thinking, our metal detecting company is getting ready to come out with gold pans. It may be something that
that's what we're thinking. Maybe we can get together and do a little panning.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm on board.
Nice.
I'm always ready for an adventure. If it involves gold.
So how did you transition from panning for gold and hunting for gold to the coin aspect of?
So what happened was I had always been exposed to gold. On my 16th birthday, my dad actually found a heart-shaped gold nugget. So that was cool. So he was in a really bad accident in 2013. He fell 25 feet, became paralyzed from the nipples down. And so he never went home again after that. He was hospitalized after that. And he started buying coins, and I didn't know he was doing this, but he needed to have a hobby to pass time because he went from working 7 days a week to now he can't walk, and he needed something to do. So all of a sudden I show up at his house September 2nd, 2016. I walk in the door. Hey, Dad, what's going on? He's like, honey, I need you to go to a coin show and sell my coins. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, well, there's a coin show and I need you to go and sell my coins. I'm like, really? Like money? You know, what are you talking about? I didn't know what American Silver Eagle was. I had never heard of a Morgan Silver Dollar, but he had a whole safe full of them. And he's like, I know you. You could sell anything. You're the person for this. He goes, so bring your purse over here. So I bring my purse over and he just loads it up. I have like 6-7 rolls of Silver Eagles in there, tons of coins, graded, raw, you know, they're just everywhere in my purse. I'm like dragging my purse into this coin show. So I go and I walk in the room and I saw the very first table on the right and I walk right up. Hey, I'm Janessa. Janessa usually. I'm Janessa. I have all these coins for my dad. Do you want to buy them? And they're going through them. They're like, oh, wow, you have really good coins. You know, looking through them. Made a deal with that guy, got his phone number, and then just made my way around the room. And then about halfway through, it was a really small coin show. Everybody can hear everything going on.
Sure.
And so I'm about halfway through, and one of the dealers there accused me of having a counterfeit Morgan. And now I'm like in the fight or flight response. I'm scared. I'm like, oh, I just sold all these coins. Now he thinks I have a counterfeit. You know, I'm freaking out.
Right.
So another dealer came around the corner. He heard what was going on and brought his XRF gun and his X-ray spectrometer. And he shoots the gun and gets, you know, all the readings. And he says, there's nothing wrong with this coin. It's just a die crack. It was a VAM is what it was.
Sure.
And so I ended up selling the coin to the guy that thought it was counterfeit, made really good friends with the guy with the X-ray spectrometer, who happened to be Dave Emsley from Prospectors Gold and Gems. Thanks, Dave, for letting me use your name in my interview. He's such a good guy. So I ended up becoming really good friends with him, and I literally fell in love with the hobby that day, and I stayed. So after that, I started going to all the coin shows and selling my dad's coins.
Nice.
And I started studying them and learning them as best I could. But there's so much to learn in this, you know? I'm 3 years in. I don't know anything at all, I feel like.
Well, what is like the 3 main things you would think you would have to know about a coin before bringing it in?
Well, you would want to know dates. So here's a good example. I'm more knowledgeable in wheat cents because that's where I started. So I know the most about wheat cents, and that's what I've studied the most. So you want to know key dates in the wheat cents. You want to start having a knowledge of grading. So you want to look at them and know if they're, you know, if they're worth grading or buying. If they're all full of dirt and gunk and they're just a common date, we pay 2.5 cents for those. So condition, date, and I don't know about the third thing. I think that's pretty much the keys, dates and conditions.
I know that Dave brought this to my attention and it made me really think about this. And we see some of these videos of the dealers and they've got just mounds of wheat pennies or mounds of buffalo nickels and stuff that's not necessarily in circulation. How do the coin dealers get this vast?
It's just all that silver, you know, the Mercury dimes and Washington quarters and just bags and bags of them.
That hasn't been sorted through.
The secrets. So basically, since we're a coin shop, people bring us their collections. So that's how I deal in a lot of these groups. And a lot of the groups on Facebook, which we'll get to later, are people that form groups, and a lot of times they don't know a whole lot about what's going on. But being a coin shop, people bring us, just thousands and thousands of coins, millions of dollars of coins, and they bring them in to sell collections. So we acquire a lot of our inventory from our customers. We also do all the major coin shows. We have a huge presence in the coin show industry. So we trade with other dealers there. And now that social media has become such a popular avenue, we do a lot of business right there. And that's for anybody. You don't have to be a dealer to trade coins on social media. You can just come in, find good groups, and buy whatever, pretty much.
So it's not that odd to have somebody come in with a 50-pound bag of Mercury dimes or something.
Not odd at all.
Well,
now Kevin just says our largest purchase of wheat cents at one time was over 1 million coins.
Yeah,
that's a lot of wheat pennies. And then you guys go through those individually then?
What I appreciate, and this is straight up, like our coin machine is right behind me. I'm looking at it right now. When we get them in, we literally run them through the counter. We bag them in bags of 1,000 and we sell them as 1,000. If you buy them in shop, they're $50 a bag for 1,000. If you buy them online, they're $60. It costs us a lot of money to ship them. Sure. So $60 includes our PayPal fees and our fees of, credit cards and whatnot and shipping. And we don't have time to sort pennies. So we're literally so busy, we cannot go through and sort pennies. We can't even find people we can hire to come in and have them go through them. So we would much rather throw them suckers in the counter and then sell them as is. And we would rather have our people searching, find the goods, and then give us a good review. Hey, buy these,
So it's something to do like in the off season, like here, I know in the Midwest, it gets cold and snowy, and a lot of people will do coin roll hunting where they'll go and get silver rolls of $50 or something. So it sounds like you can get, you're not looking through them. So you could buy bulk wheat pennies and stuff from you to look for 1909. Nice.
I sell them all day long. So yes.
So what do you see, the non-rare coins, stuff that we find metal detecting, the Mercury dimes, the Buffalo nickels, barbers? Is there an offshoot, or is there a certain coin that a lot of people seem to collect?
To be honest with you, the beauty in coin collecting and what I love about this hobby, everybody does something different. I like Morgans, and I think that's because that's where I started with pennies, going through cents with my dad, and then all of his Morgans. So I prefer Morgans, but everybody likes something different. And I would say if I see a fad in things, the most that we sell in bulk are the wheat cents. So wow. I see a fad in that, and people like to search them. So I'd say if anything, it would be wheat cents. Otherwise, it's just a variety of everything, and all people like something different. They all have a different flavor of coin that they like. So I think
as a Morgan dollar, and a lover of a Morgan dollars, when you go through them, you just spend more time looking through them. And have you ever found something that somebody just kind of accidentally slipped in and it turned out to be a rare gem for you?
Not me personally, but I'm sure that Kevin has in the shop. I haven't gone through enough of them on my own. But yeah, people bring us stuff all the time. And yeah, we will buy, like we had someone just bring us 700 Morgan silver dollars. And so those we will go through, and then we'll grade those out, and we'll sort the Morgans and things like that. They're a lot easier to deal with than cents are. They're so tiny. There's so many of them. But we find key dates in there from time to time and all that. So
here's a question that metal detectors have. We find a silver coin in the ground. We get it. We dust it off to see what we found. But even that sometimes is taboo. What's the suggestions for removing a coin from the soil and then preserving it as best as you can?
So basically, we never want to use the C word, clean. We don't ever want to clean a coin. That is like bad, bad, bad. But you can restore them, and companies like PCGS have a really great innovative program that they use, where they use technology and non-invasive procedures to try to restore the coin back to its original mint state as possible. So that's always an option. You can send it in for professional restoration. You can always soak it in soap and water, but when you're done, just gently, rinse it off. Don't scrub it. There's a lot of people that take toothbrushes to their coins, and you can watch YouTube videos where they suggest rolling them in baking soda and scrubbing them with a toothbrush. We will cry for you if you do that. Don't do that. So you can always gently rub them to try to rub the date a little bit. But anytime you do that, you're going to risk scratching it or causing more damage to the coin. And if the coin's been in the ground, it's already going to have environmental issues. So we want to try to preserve it as best as possible. So just soaking it in some soap or water.
So tumblers and electrolysis, no.
No.
So my hobby channel 78 says, what's the average restoration generally cost if you want to go that route?
It's usually a fee of grading fee, which the fee is usually about $30 plus a low percentage. So if you end up finding a key date coin, just because you found that key date in the ground doesn't mean that it's gonna be trashed or unrestorable. So if you find a key date, it's obviously going to cost a little bit more than if you find something that is just a normal coin.
So what is with the technology? I mean, what are you talking about as far as restoring something? I mean, what do they do? Actually put metals back into the coin to fill in?
They do that, but it is proprietary information, so they don't tell us what they do.
So basically, if you find...
I talked to Joe from PCGS about this because I wanted to put a plug to PCGS in here because they do a great job restoring coins. And he's like, yeah, we just use technology and non-invasive procedures and,
So if you have got a key date silver coin that's dark from the elements of being in the ground, it's better to leave it dark and not try to bring it back.
Leave it alone. I would just not touch it. And you can I always suggest taking the coin to your local coin dealer, or you can always send it to us. We get coins and we get silver and gold from all over the United States. People send us stuff constantly. So we can always take a look, or you can shoot us pictures. So if you don't want to send it into PCGS and pay $30 to get advice, you can always shoot Kevin or I messages right on Facebook, and we'll take a look and let you know if it's worth sending into grading or restoring. But getting a professional opinion is really key to that.
And Kevin says it depends on the value of the coin. Alan has a question that kind of goes into another question we have that we talked about the other day. First, can you grade and slab a coin with a hole in it? And then two, talk about why metal detectors find so many coins with holes.
So there's a couple of different reasons there are holes in coins. One being people make jewelry out of them. So they could be a necklace or bracelet or earrings. Some coins are minted with holes in them. So the 1921 France, I'm trying to remember what it's called, a 25, and then Kevin will have to correct me on this, but the comatose, I can't remember what it's called now, but those come already with holes in them. And ancient Chinese coins were minted with square holes in the center. So those are already hole-lead coins. And I actually learned something cool a couple years ago at a coin show. I was at Cheyenne, Wyoming, and I was with Bill from Annex, which is a grading service in Denver. I'm pro Annex because I'm from Colorado and I know them very well. But the old holy dump coins are holed already. So there's those. The 5 yen, the Japanese 5 yen, have holes in them. So they could have been for jewelry. They could be already minted that way. But what's really cool is back in the day, people used to get robbed a lot. In the early days, people would be going along their trails and they would get held up. So a lot of times they would punch holes in their coins and sew them in their clothing. So the coins wouldn't rattle. And then it kept their coins safe so they could do what they needed to do and I would imagine that was probably a heavy way to travel, but
Right.
coins all the way up their sleeves. But yeah, they did that to keep their money safe so they didn't get robbed.
All right. Well, we're gonna take a quick commercial break here, but when we come back, I want to ask you about how far back or how old of coins do you trade? From the 1600s, 1700s, Roman coins. How far back do you guys go? All right, you were listening to and you're watching In the Zone with RC and Dave, and we'll be right back after these.
Hi, I'm Cameron Macer from XP Team USA. I wanted to drop in to tell you about our new store. Go to www.xpteamusastore.com. Here you will find our official team hats, t-shirts, both long and short sleeved, hoodies, jackets, and even shorts. Lots of good stuff here, folks. Proceeds from the store will help us continue to give away great prizes from our many contests, and we thank you for your support. Now back to the zone with RC Dunn and Dave D.
All right, welcome back, and we are speaking with Jay. Jay, tell us about some of the older coins. Now we're talking about older copper coins, Connecticut copper, New Jersey copper. Coins that from maybe the 16th or 1700s, reals. Do you deal in those older coins too?
We deal in all of those coins. There aren't any coins that we do not deal in. So we have ancients, we have coins, going back 500 AD, BC. Kevin's a little more knowledgeable in that area, but we literally have coins from the beginning of time. So it's pretty incredible. And to watch these things come across your table is pretty awesome. And to actually hold them in your hand and have a piece of history like that, that is really cool. I can't even imagine digging one up, finding one prospecting.
Yeah, I had that.
Detecting.
Had that in January. I was over in the UK, and I dug my first hammered coin, my first Roman coin. It is a good feeling. That's for sure.
Absolutely. So yeah, we deal in everything.
So with metal detectors, we go to a lot of conventions and a lot of hunts, sort of like you do with your coin shows and things like that. And one thing they do is they do seeded hunts, where it's kind of like adult Easter egg hunting or whatever, where they'll seed a pasture or something with coins, and you pay and you get to hunt that. So Infinity Coins, could other metal detecting clubs from around the country contact you to get bulk silver and bulk Indian heads and stuff like that to 100%. Use for? Okay.
Absolutely. And so, so we would just figure out what they're trying to accomplish, figure out what their goals are, what their budget is, what are they trying to accomplish, and we would just work with them. But yeah, we definitely have bulk. And if we don't have it in stock, we know where it's at. So
you get a bag of mercury coins. What do you have? Maybe 100 in a bag, 200? How many comes to a bag? Say 100 to a bag. Are some bags worth more than others, or do they pretty much same price across the board?
Yeah, we pretty much do same price. I can't talk. Same price across the board, depending on what you want to purchase. If you want AU coins, those will be X amount. If you want VF, those are going to be X amount. If you're just looking for junk, that's going to be the cheapest way to go. That'll be X amount. So it just depends on what you're looking for. Every coin has its own value depending on the date and the condition and all of those things that we take into consideration when buying and selling.
So how many people run this operation?
At Infinity, I think there's 7 of us now. We had to hire more people over COVID because we were having lines of people outside. We literally could not, get everybody in and out quick enough, and the phones were ringing and ringing and ringing. There's even videos of me where I'm trying to do live videos because I'm back here trying to get some stuff sold, and the phone is just going and going and going, so.
So you were doing more, I would take it you'd be doing more buying than selling at that time because people are trying to get rid of their collection for money?
Both.
Yeah.
It was a toss-up. Kevin, what do you think? Do you think we were about equal in buying and selling? I mean, it's just been insane. As fast as we get the stuff in, it's out the door. And we're getting in big collections. Mind-blowing. and they're literally out the door. I'm like, here, I thought I was a big deal when I was in Colorado. I'm like, oh yeah, you should see my numbers. Like, I'm so cool. And then I get here and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, just blowing it out of the water. It's crazy.
So Alan is one of our Minnesota beach boys. He water hunts up in the fresh lakes of Minnesota, and he found a very, very, very old coin that he wants to send in, a silver. And he was just curious what the turnaround normally is to get it when you get it in your hands, to get it graded, slabbed, and sent back.
Right now, we're looking at about 6 to 8 weeks with PCGS and NGC. So Annex might be a little quicker, and depending on what the coin is going to depend on where we would suggest sending it. So if it's going to be a super high value coin, we prefer PCGS. So each coin grading company is known for doing different things, and so we can guide him with that. He can send us pictures if he would like. Kevin takes in all the pictures on his Gmail account, which is infinitycoins@gmail.com. So he can send stuff there, or he can shoot them to me on Facebook or whatever.
Kevin says that the first part of COVID, they sold 130,000 ounces of silver in 3 days.
It was crazy. Yeah, I have never even seen that much silver in my life until I came here. So, and we're just slaying it. We're like, yes.
And we love it. As a metal detectors, I don't know if you know this, but silver doesn't tarnish in the ground. So when you get a good signal and you dig and you see that little silver rim in the dirt, you found something great. And then it's what it's going to be. So, other questions. So you've done a lot of wheat cents, and so just the common coins that people drop in the ground, the wheat cents, the mercury dimes. What's some key features that metal detectors that may be new to the hobby that don't know coins that much, what should they be looking for?
I would just say be looking at each coin individually. I really think it would be a good idea for especially newer detectorists. Is that the right word to use?
Yeah.
To invest in a red book, which we sell those. And I use the red book. So the red book will tell you everything about the coins, how many were minted that year, how much they're going for. Granted, our coin buys and sales are live. So we stay with the market every second. Every second we know what the market's doing, and that's how we trade coins. But they do a yearly red book, so they do their pricing once a year. So it's not always 100% accurate, but it's close enough to use as a guide. I would suggest people get a red book and kind of get that and just kind of look for themselves, because every coin is different. There isn't really necessarily anything to look for except for key dates. And then obviously we're always looking at the condition, but when you're pulling coins out of the ground, they're not really in good condition ever. So I don't know. Have you guys ever pulled any good coins out of the ground?
You'd be surprised. I mean, there's some that must have been minted and then dropped on the ground and then just settled. So, I mean, I found Indian heads that you can't tell it's an Indian head, but it's an Indian head by the white and things like that. But then I've also found a 1900 barber dime that could be graded. So it goes every way. But another thing I want to ask is, let's say somebody is detecting and they're trying to complete a set. I mean, they can contact you if they're looking for a specific year, specific mint, if it's a Denver mint, if it's a New Orleans mint or whatever. I mean, like they can, if you don't have it, you'll help them try to find it. Correct?
Yep. Yeah. And chances are we have it. If we don't have it on the shelf, then we have it in a box in the back. We have tons and tons and tons of stock and back stock. When I came on with Infinity Coins, I told Kevin, my biggest problem is I don't have enough inventory. As quick as I get it in, I sell it. And I've gotten too big for my own good. Like, I cannot stay up with my business. I need inventory. He goes, he's like, we have so much inventory. You're never going to run out. I did not believe him. When I got here, I would sell the whole wall. I'm like, look, I just sold this whole tray of coins. He'd walk in the back, refill it back up. Here you go. And I have to start over again. We have tons of stuff. And we have a wish list. So if there's something we don't have, I just pop people on the wish list. And when we get it in, we call them.
So looking at your club and looking at when you go live to sell things, a lot of them, some things aren't U.S. currency or foreign currency. So like if you have a slabbed Batman coin or something, are you targeting either comic book fans or people that just collect fine silver, or what's that market all about?
That market is people buy what they like. And that's what I push. And I sell a lot of the higher end bullion. And before I came on, I wasn't necessarily dealing with coins. I was in the bullion market. So that's kind of where my niche is. I love all that high end stuff. So we aren't necessarily targeting anybody, but we're targeting everybody and encouraging people, buy what you like. You don't have to collect a coin set of Morgans and complete the whole set. You can buy whatever you like in this hobby, and if you're working on a penny set or a barber dime set and you see a Batman coin, buy the Batman coin, put it in your collection, and these things are cool. And what's really cool about the hybrid bullion, that's what we call it, the hybrid bullion, they're limited mintage. So most of them are under 5,000. A lot of them are 2,000, 2,500 total pieces made. And so when they're gone, they're gone.
Right.
And so we have the Justice League series in right now. I haven't been able to catch up and see if they're going to produce the whole entire Justice League characters, but I'm assuming that they are going to mint all of the characters. But right now we have Aquaman, Batman, and who else do we have in there? Who else is in there, Kevin?
Look at your underwear, Dave. You've got the Justice League through the rooms on right now.
Yeah.
So, hey, another question someone asked.
Star Wars, we get everything. I mean, sharks. I mean, oh my God.
You see that a lot, like presidential coins and stuff. You see that.
Well, how do you know who to trust? I mean, would you see that TV show that, or it's, what is it called? CV? I don't know what it's called. It sells
CVC or whatever.
Yeah, QVC. It sells coins.
That's what they call me.
You'll see commercials where there's a $5 gold coin and they're selling it for $50 or something like that.
No, 19 payments of $50.
Right. Yeah, it's like, are those places you should stay away from?
Yeah, absolutely. You do not want to get involved in that, because and actually what I did was I became interested in that. So I started watching those channels because I wanted to see, learning. I'm comparing their prices and our prices. They're double.
Wow. So
they may sell a double eagle for $1,700, 2 easy payments of $1,700. We're selling them for $1,700 total. Same exact coin, same grade, only they'll a lot of times have their own fancy labels and stuff. We'll straight have PCGS. We get ours straight graded through.
What about buying and selling gold? You'll see commercials trying to put people in a panic and making it sound like you need to buy gold right now because the United States is having so many problems, and just trying to actually scare you into buying gold.
The marketing scheme.
Yeah, is that just trying to raise the price of gold, or?
My dad got involved in that, and unfortunately, the duty that I had selling a lot of his coins, he lost a couple $100,000. So he got wrapped up into that, and so I've experienced that firsthand. eBay, there's a lot of great coin dealers on eBay. Awesome. I love them. Like, I have dinner with them. I have their phone numbers. We're talking every day, trading coins. They're great people. There's also a lot of people on there that don't know what they're doing or talking about, and they're selling coins, saying, they're like me. They can make really creative, good ads, and this coin that is just complete junk, they're selling for ridiculous amounts of money, and people are just getting taken advantage of, and that's not okay. It's important to know who you're doing business with. And in my group, I'm always saying, check for references.
Right.
People will a lot of times say, well, your coins are too high. Well, they're not. That's reasonable market value. They just aren't educated in, we have access to proprietary information and trading values that people on the outside don't have. So we have the inside information, and that is how we are trading our coins, which is completely 100% legit. And we're licensed, we're insured. So that coin gets stolen in the mail. People are going to have their money back. First off, we're going to work really hard to try to get them their product that they bought. We're going to try to, get them that product back. And if we can't, we have insurance to cover it. So you're not going to get scammed. So I think it's important to know who you're doing business with and not just buy because you're hearing a super good marketing deal on TV. Everybody should be buying gold, though. They are right.
Right.
Everybody should be buying gold.
A couple last questions here. If people, there's some people in our groups, Metal Detect, that find other things besides coins, like tokens, old store tokens and that kind of stuff. Can they be slabbed just to preserve them? And is there a place that is knowledgeable on that kind of stuff, or is it just basically to get it slabbed?
We can give them information about it. So we deal in tokens too. And yeah, you can slab tokens. So we have a ton of them right now. So, yep.
So as far as being a pawn shop, do metal detectors come into your shop to sell what they find?
Sometimes
if that happens.
We have a lot of people, the local metal detectorists and, people that are out panning for gold, looking for rocks. We have the XRF machine. So the X-ray spectrometer. People will bring that stuff in so we can test it for them. And Kevin is extremely knowledgeable. This guy knows his stuff. I appreciate him so much and what he does. And he does a great job. But anyway, so he can look at a coin almost instantly and tell if it's counterfeit. Whether it's a token, whether it's a coin, doesn't matter. He's just incredible at what he does. So we do all that for everybody, and we don't charge for that typically. So.
And finally, a lot of people, we talked about this earlier, about sometimes metal detectors feel that the environmental damage to their coin is already to the point that they're kind of behind the 8 ball and getting it graded. Talk about that process. Is it worth grading coins that have been dug up out of the ground? Do we just go in with the knowledge that, hey, just know that it's going to come back probably in this range, or like, should they temper expectations or what?
It just depends on the coin and how bad it's damaged. Any coin that is outside of being protected, if it's not in an airtight, or, anytime it's exposed to the environment, it's automatically, starting the process of corrosion and environmental damage. Anytime a coin comes in contact with chemicals or minerals or air, moisture, it starts to create damage. So that's always a thing, but that doesn't mean that it's a deal breaker. So just knowing the coin, and Kevin says that we can help with all the tokens and medallions. He's right. He is right. We can. But yeah, just because it's in the ground doesn't mean it's a deal breaker. It just depends on the pitting and the coin and the scarring and, how bad it's been exposed. If someone finds a coin that to their naked eye looks like something that was just dropped, they can really see fine detail. It's not necessarily a waste of money to get it slabbed, because number one, you'll get it graded and it'll be in a protective case, and heck, you found it and you want to preserve it, right? Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, go ahead.
Some people do grade coins that I wouldn't think are worth grading because they're PCGS collectors and they want all their coins in PCGS slabs, so, and they might be collecting a series of coins of all fine grade or whatever they're collecting, and so they might come across that grade of coin that absolutely we would just throw in the junk pile, but they will send it in because that's what they want to collect. Sure. So
what happens if someone comes in with some items that they found on a historical location? The coins might not be in a great shape, the relics might not be in a great shape, but it was found on a historic location. Is that worth more than if they just kind of piece it together from all different fields?
Yeah, like provenance.
Well, I mean, if you can prove where it's from, then possibly, depending on where it's from. And, I can't think of any examples of that right now, but I would imagine that if you
Well, yeah, well, for example, okay, so we went out and we found religious relics from the only known place where they had a Marian sighting here in Wisconsin. So it's a big religious area. And there was a bunch of relics that we found on that property. And when we try to give them back to the property owners, they didn't care about them. So we found some stuff that was related to the actual sighting itself. So if you grouped all that stuff that you found, and you can actually prove that you found it there, and you brought it to you as a package, and would you sell it as a package from that place, or would you break it up?
Well, it depends on what it is. It may go better parting it out. I call it parting it out, piecing it out, or it may go better as a group. Everything just depends on what it is. And, you know, sometimes we have to lump things together that may not be the coolest with the absolute coolest because we want them all to go. So it just depends. Everything is so different. So
like another example,
you gotta know how to market the stuff.
Another example, I know that people have hunted specifically for your key dates of in Chicago, of the Chicago fire. So finding old, partially charred, you know, that matches the date. I don't know when that fire was, but, you know, so then you have Providence. It was found in Chicago. It was found in a location that was burnt. It's got charring. Like Dave's talking about this location up in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin was in the Peshtigo fire.
So the fire just destroyed thousands of acres, and it saved the church was not touched. So that was part of the miracle, was,
wow,
you know, like everything around it. So, you know, Dave finds a coin, or someone finds a coin, matches the date, matches the time, and it's got, you know, charring on it. Then we have provenance, and, you know, I think that would probably lead to the, you know, and here's a perfect example. So you said document everything you find. Kevin says take pictures, note the finds. Evidence and provenance can be important. So
yeah, collectors will pay big bucks. You know, they're looking for that stuff. They can't find it anywhere else. If you can prove where it came from, that's huge.
Do you work as a sort of like an agent for people that bring in their collections and you sell it for them?
Absolutely. We do a lot of consignments for people. Yep. Yeah. We don't bring in a ton of it. We usually just buy everything, you know, but yeah, people do choose that. So
is it mostly internet based now? Do you think you get more people, I mean, reaching out to the world as you do have people coming in the door?
I think it's a toss up because of what I do and what Kevin does online. He deals with a lot of the bigger stuff. Kevin deals with most of the wholesale stuff online. I deal with most of the retail stuff online. So the two of us combined compared to the people coming in the door, I think it's pretty even.
All right. So I have a question for you too. Talk about your club.
Oh yeah. Lady Jaye's Coin Club. So Lady Jaye's Coin Club is my group on Facebook. I came up with it because, well, first off, everybody thought that I was a guy. So I get called sir all the time, which is kind of an honor to me because at least they're not calling me something inappropriate. It's sir. So I came up with this thing, well, I'm a her, not a sir. Well, I'm a lady. Although I might not be ladylike all the time, you know, still. So I came up with Lady Jaye because I go by Jay. Well, when I started out selling bars on Facebook, because with Dave Emsley, going back to that, when I connected with him at that coin show, I started selling his silver bars on Facebook. I posted those suckers up and boom, they were gone. They sold. I'm like, I can't believe that. I literally in 30 seconds just sold like 100 bars, you know. I'm just blown away that these could go that fast. That's kind of why I stayed, because I knew I could make money quick just posting on Facebook. But I noticed that I'm kind of unruly, so I started getting kicked out of some of the groups. You know, like posting too many, you're only allowed 5 here, 5 here. One.
So you're a spammer. That's what you're saying. Yeah.
Exactly right. Thank you for saying it. So I started getting kicked out, and I'm like, my feelings are hurt. Like, I can't believe I just got kicked out of this group. I just did like $50,000 in sales, and they kicked me out. Like, what the heck? You know, I'm all set. Everybody gets their inventory. It's all packaged properly. Like, I would put notes in, smiley faces. I'm all proud of what I'm doing, right? And I get booted. So I had to come up with my own group, and it's been growing over the last couple of years. There's a lot of groups that are much larger. Mine, I do business with people and bring them in or whatever. And the people in there are mostly my customers, and it just goes great. I love
Yeah. Well, you got to do some
I can do
kickbacks
what I
there.
want there. Yeah. So if I want to post something inappropriate now and then, like a coin and positions or something, whatever I come up with that day, I can do it because it's my group.
We've
So
all found inappropriate coins.
I don't.
The heads you win, tails you lose with the little naked ladies. We've all found those.
Those. Mhm.
Yes, those are always fun to find.
Those. So I can do what I want in there. It's
Your boss says you're a spammer,
I'm a spammer. I am.
but he also says this is pretty cool that you have 100+ people through the day at your brick and mortar store. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
and
amazing.
while everybody's dealing with that out there, I'm dealing with everybody back here, and it's pretty cool. So I'm always like, Kevin, how many people are you waiting on? 1? I'm waiting on 13 right now. So I'm super competitive too.
So if all of our people that are on our team and the people that are watching on YouTube and Facebook, they can go to infinitycoins.com. Can they ask specifically for you or Kevin, since they've seen you on the show and they know?
They're going to get a hold of me mostly because I race to answer the phone because I like to answer the phone. So even when I'm not here, I have the phone on my cell phone. I'm still answering the phone when I'm not here. I want to catch everybody that calls. So, yeah, Kevin's a little harder to get a hold of because he's extremely busy.
Sure.
But if there's something that we need to pull him into, we'll absolutely get him involved. We can always send him pictures, but anything online is best to go through me. And then I filter everything and get it to him and make it as simple as possible for him because he is so busy.
So I
was busy.
What's the steps? So we've got some people we've already had on the comments. So they want to get something graded, slabbed, and whatever. Should they take pictures of it and send you all that before?
Yep. They can send it in on their own, or they can send us pictures. We'll let them know, hey, this is just a 10-cent coin. Don't waste your $30-$50 to have it graded, or we'll take a look at it and say, yeah, this is definitely worth grading. And
then
Kevin
you'll tell him
what he thinks it'll grade at. Kevin's awesome. He can grade anything.
And then you can also determine which grading service you want to go with too, right? So you'll help them with that.
We use depending on what they have because everybody does their thing. So we want to make sure we get it to the right grading service. So yeah, and then we'll let them know an approximate amount of what we think it'll cost. Sometimes it's a little less than what we think. Sometimes it's a little more. If it comes back better than what we think, it could cost a little bit extra. If it comes back maybe not as good as we thought. Here's the thing with grading. You're not always going to get what you want.
Right. It's subjective.
It's a gamble. Yeah, it's a gamble. And you might send something in knowing exactly 100%, no question of a doubt, this is what it is. And they're going to grade it what they grade it.
Right.
And so you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. You can either choose to crack it and resubmit it however many times until you finally get the right grade, or you can accept it and move on. A lot of things that have happened now these days that I've noticed, I call it a thing, is people are now looking at the grade and not the coin. So there's always that too. Like a lot of times it's not worth resubmitting a coin if it comes back a little lower, but the coin is obviously an MS67, not an MS65. So a lot of times because when we do coin shows, I usually walk the show because I have to talk to everybody.
Sure.
It's hard for me to sit at the table. I need to go talk to everybody there. But I'll walk the coins a lot and they'll say, well, I don't want to pay this amount. I'm like, well, that's really a 67. It's not a 65. Look at the coin. So a lot of times we've gotten out of actually looking at the coin and just looking at the slab. So.
All right. And the same thing, go to the website if you're a metal detecting group and you need bulk coins for seeded hunts, that kind of stuff.
For sure.
Well, Jay, we really appreciate you coming on. We're probably going to have you on again. So
Great.
stick around.
Yeah.
Infinitycoins.com. If you're in the neighborhood, go stop in and see her. Take her to lunch. Say hi.
I love lunch. Dinner's my favorite, though.
Right. She's looking for a potato farmer. I don't know if there's a potatofarmeronly.com or something. I mean, check that out.
Talking about that camping this weekend.
All right. Well, Jay, we appreciate it. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, Jay.
For having
Infinity Coins, if you have anything, and we'll be right back after these messages.
All right, welcome back to the Zone. I'm Dave D. He's RC Dunn. And now we have a special guest, Mr. Grant Hansen. He's our XP Team USA team member from the Garden State of New Jersey, and he co-host of the Metal Detecting podcast. Grant, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing?
Awesome. Now
Learned
you have
some coin stuff tonight, didn't you?
Oh, I'm already thinking. What
hope you learned a lot.
Send them to see if they're worth.
All right.
Now, Grant, you got a contest coming up. It's a video contest. Actually, it just started running last night, and you're here today to let our viewers know what's up.
Yeah. So, if you know me and you follow our videos, I'm out there filming as much as I can. I was trying to come up with a new idea, and Gary Blackwell and I were chatting about it. And he's like, oh, what about a sort of like, would you dig it or would you not video? And that turned into, is it ferrous or non-ferrous, to try to guess the target based on the sounds and what I'm seeing and hearing. So we turned that into a contest where you can win a XP mystery box, right? So it's a mystery of what you might find, what you might win, just like it's a mystery of what's actually in the hole. And we've got a pretty good history of giving away some pretty good stuff. So it's live on YouTube right now. So check it out. Listen to the tones. There's 5 different targets. And all you got to do is guess, is each target ferrous or non-ferrous?
Yes, I was watching the video last night, and you got some people guessing some getting pretty close. Now, so what happens if you guess all 5 targets and somebody else guesses all 5 targets? Where do you go from there?
So we're going to take everybody who's guessed all 5 correctly and put them in a bucket, and then we'll pick one winner out of that, one lucky winner to win the mystery box. And I believe we're going to announce it on your next show in 2 weeks.
All right. Now, speaking about mystery boxes, they come right out of my shop. And I just walk down the aisle and I pick some stuff out to throw in there. And some really neat stuff that we are probably going to be giving away in that box. Could be hats, T-shirts, coil, could be pinpointers. You never know. It could be all 4.
Yeah, like I said, we don't chintz when it comes to giving away some good stuff. So it's definitely worth taking a chance and entering.
And amazing shirts like you've got on right now. We can get those at our store, or you can win them in a mystery box.
Right.
So right now you're up on YouTube, correct? Right now on our channel?
It's up on YouTube, and you can enter up until July 4th at 11:59 Eastern time. That's when we're going to cut the contest off. And then we'll come out with the part 2. We'll reveal all the correct answers. And then, like I said, we'll reveal who the winner is on our next show.
All right.
Can't
So
wait.
XP Team USA YouTube channel. Check out Grant Hansen's video. What's it? No, the name of the video is.
I believe I should know this off the top of my head.
I knew I catch you like that.
Got him.
Enter to win mystery box challenge is
That's
what
right.
I believe. Yeah. So.
All right. And while you're there, you might as well subscribe to the channel because we got some really great videos coming down the line.
Now, also, we're taking a break with the podcast, but that's going to be coming back up here in the summer, and you're going to be recording some new episodes. So it's going to be a great time. We're going to get some new guests on the podcast as well, right?
Yeah, definitely. We're going to be recording over the summer so we can come back in September strong with some really great guests. And if you've never listened to our podcast before, it's called the Metal Detecting Podcast. You can find it on Spreaker, but we also publish it on our YouTube channel. We've got a ton of past episodes that you can catch up on, some really good guests. In fact, I saw you guys doing show and tell at the beginning of the show. I'll do mine.
You got
Nice.
your book too, huh?
We have a Terry Shannon as one of our guests as well. So again, really good guests.
All right, Grant. All right, Grant, thanks for joining us. Thank you for the contest. Check it out on our YouTube channel, XP Team USA. Guess right, and you could be a big winner.
That's right. Good luck, everybody.
All right.
Nice
All
talking to
right.
you,
On
Grant.
behalf of RC Dunn and myself, Dave D, you were watching In the Zone, and we'll see you next time.